Welcome to the World of Horror podcast with Mom and Mac. This is the podcast where we share our love of international horror. Everyone has their fears, but we are not afraid of subtitles. Disclaimers for adult language and spoilers. WoHos! This week we had some technical difficulties, and so there is no Mom and Mac chat this week. I hope you'll enjoy the show where we talk about folk horror.
Yes, this week we are doing folk tales, folklore.
Folk horror.
And folk horror, yes. And I like folk horror. I feel like I'm disconnected from folk tales considering I'm a kind of like a city suburb boy, but I like the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our first movie is a film called Pumpkinhead. Here is a short plot summary from IMDb. After a tragic accident, a man conjures up a towering, vengeful demon called Pumpkinhead to destroy a group of unsuspecting teenagers. Asterisk, these are the oldest teenagers you've ever seen. Especially Joel.
Oh God, Joel, yeah. He's about 35.
Though he could be like the guy who, he keeps coming back. Like he's like, hey, high school, the good old days.
That's true.
It was directed by Stan Winston with screenplay by Mark Patrick Carducci and Carrie Gerani, with story by Mark Patrick Carducci and Stan Winston and Richard C. Weinman, based on Pumpkinhead by Ed Justin. It stars Lance Henriksen, John D'Aquino, and Carrie Remsen. Cinematography by Bojan Bazelli, edited by Marcus Manton, music by Richard Stone. It was released January 13th, 1989, with a runtime of 86 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What? It feels a lot longer than that.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like I watched an extended cut or something, because the one I watched was definitely longer than 86 minutes.
Could be.
I think I got the unabridged version.
Well,
I would have preferred the abridged.
All right, so you felt like it was a little long?
Like, I feel like for a fact I spent longer than 86 minutes watching this.
Okay.
Though maybe that's the Tubi ads. Okay, I got a mini rant about Tubi. On the one hand, really great, you can see a lot of movies for free. But is it really for free when the cinematic viewing experience is so bastardized by all the Sky Rizzy ads you get?
Yeah. Good question.
I just feel like it's a shame.
There's got to be a better way.
There has to. Fuck you, Netflix, and fuck you, Amazon. We should really strike, because like Netflix, you can't even pause if you have with the ads. Sometimes I want to pause and be like, hey, what's that in the screen? And then it's like, well, no, here's pizza. Well,
yeah. It's really obnoxious now that all the streamers have gone to ads and you have to pay more for no ads. And of course, I'm always going to do that. So I don't know how much I spend every month, but it's an insane amount. It's way more than cable ever was.
How are they can't keep getting away with it?
Well, I think I'm going to do what I used to do, which is just put certain subscriptions on pause, like not have all of the channels all the time.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, just sort of like if
rotation.
Something comes up that you want to watch, unpause it. But the only thing is Hulu is almost impossible to do that with, because it's bundled up with Disney, and it's really tough to pause or cancel your subscription.
They might be the worst, Hulu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I've been on a Hulu strike for a while, but there's a lot of stuff I want to watch that's on Hulu, so I'm just kind of suffering right now.
Yeah. Well, you might want to pause Peacock or something else.
Yeah. Just, ugh. If any of you guys are listening, I'm very upset with you. Well, here's Pumpkinhead. We start in 1957 with our opening scene. There is, we're in kind of like bumfuck nowhere. And there's a really scared man who's running away from something. And we see a family, like a mom, dad, son, in a ramshackle house. There's a scarecrow jumps. There's a lot of jump scares in this movie that kind of feel like baby's first jump scare. Like, they're not well done, but they're kind of charming. Like, the music is just so like, da! And it'll be like a dog.
Yeah, there is a dog jump scare.
That one kind of got me. I was like, God damn it. There's a man begging to be let in, and he's saying like, I didn't kill her. And the dad is just like, we can't let you in. The child is like, why can't we let him in, mommy? And the mom's just like, go to bed. And the child sees a creature outside of his window holding up this man, and we can guess killing him. Now, here's where I liked this movie, but I think this already introduces the first issue I have with it. They're showing that damn monster too much, even from the get-go. He's kind of goofy looking.
Really? You thought so?
I liked him. It was very Alien-esque.
Yes.
But I think we saw him so early that I kind of was just like, oh, here's the guy in the suit again. And, they obviously were inspired by Alien. They should have taken more notes from Alien because, I mean, now I'm biased. I do think Alien is like one of the best movies ever made, but you see the alien so often in Alien, but it never stops being scary, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But there was a point I was not scared of old Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But we move to present day. The son becomes a man, and we see him and his son on a farm. Now, I love these two. Honestly, I was so drawn in by this movie, I didn't even get the death bells, for the child. Like, I just was like, what a cute father and son. Like, I wasn't even scared for them, but I should have been. And I just love this actor, the way he looks. Lance Henriksen. He's got such a face. Kind of like how Willem Dafoe, like, he's not got the Willem Dafoe face. Like, there's not a face like Willem Dafoe, but he does have such a face. And it's like one of those faces where you're like, there needs to be art made of you. Like, you're so interesting looking. So I was happy that he was our leading guy. And the son was especially cute to me because he looked just like my boyfriend's baby photos. Oh my God. Like, my boyfriend Alan, super blonde, like his hair is still this blonde. You don't see adult men this blonde like how he is, but as a kid it was somehow even blonder. And he had giant glasses as a kid, and oh, he was so cute. So I think Extra was drawn in by this father and son. But yeah, looking back, I should have been worried for them because everything was going oh so well. But we see that Ed's got a portable machine that he's using to burn brush. Him and his son Billy have the cutest relationship. Like, I just love this scene where Billy gives him a necklace. He's like, Dad, I just made you something. And the dad's like, wow, well, look at that. And the son's like, do you really like it? And he's like, I love it. And then son's like, well, you don't even have to wear it every day or nothing. And he's like, well, I'm never taking it off. And I just was like, oh, they're so cute. It was like, I don't know, you see a lot of parents and kids in movies and you're like, yeah, I get it. I'm supposed to love you too. But these two, there was something special about, I think this is the thing with this movie, the directing or something was very good. Like, there was a little bit in the end where I got bored, but whenever it's the characters talking to each other, however they shot it, I think was really good. Like it really had me invested no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely loved like this father and son duo.
Yeah.
Like, I watched it twice because the first time I watched on Tubi, I think, and they didn't have subtitles. And I knew there was a bunch of dialogue that I had missed. So I watched it again. And, but so I got to see this relationship twice, and oh my gosh, it was just so sweet. And like, even just like the kid wants to like wash his hands with his daddy, and he's just adorable.
He's the cutest little kid ever.
But the guy, he's always like, "Come here, young man," and he's just.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing because they really got me emotionally invested. And yes, I grew up in North Carolina, so technically, yes, I did grow up in the South, but I didn't grow up in this sort of rural South. I mean, I don't think I know anybody who's grown up quite like this, but I did go to college with a lot of people from the rural South. And like, I think it's tough because they're so, not to get like uber political, but like, there's a lot of like division that's sown between just all Americans based off of politics and stuff. And I think an unfortunate side effect is, well, like, yeah, if you go to the rural South, you're going to see Trump billboards or stuff like that. And there's sometimes you get out to a gas station and you're like, I don't want to go in here. I don't know if I feel not safe in like I think if you're like a woman or a gay person or a trans person, you're probably like, I don't know if I want to be over here right now. So that I'm not saying that doesn't exist and is not very real, but I think also, unfortunately, because of this division that gets sown, there's like this idea that everybody from the South is just bad and stupid. And I just don't think that's true. Now, okay, sure. If we were to make all these characters real life people, would they probably all think things I don't agree with? For sure. I'm not denying that. But I just think, I don't even know what I'm saying. But there's just been times where I talk to some people from northern states who, everybody's got their own problems and own fucked up beliefs. But there's just this belief of like, well, everybody down there's dumb and, all. And I don't know. I just think it's unfortunate because I think if we're talking true education, yeah, there's a reason education's bad here. And like those people are the victims of it. And like actually things won't get better if education isn't improved. I don't know. It got me feeling some type of way just where I was thinking like everybody, I think, I don't know. I'm just rambling now, but I grew to love a lot of like North Carolina, even the like super southern parts, meeting a lot of people in the horticulture program I was in where, you meet a lot of people who are super sweet and like perhaps are just ignorant, but truly when they learn stuff do get better and whatnot. I don't know. So I don't know. This was invoking those feelings within me.
I mean, I think that Ed is a simple man, but I don't mean that like in an intelligence way. I just think he lives a simple life, and
yes.
So I think there's a difference. And we don't really know how smart he is, but he's no dummy, that's for sure.
He's got a big heart too.
Yeah, he does.
So Ed's got a fruit stand on the side of the road. Him and Billy are setting it up, which is also a very sweet scene because it's just so like you can just learn so much about these characters from the outset. It's clear they do this all the time and it's a practiced thing. Like these two really only have each other in this world. And then this carload of teens hauling motorbikes pulls up. Now these are obviously some city slickers. They're city kids coming to the rural, this rural area to do some motorbiking. Everybody's got it's like 6 of them. It's all guys with their GFs. And I do love the way they look. Now they look way older than teens? Yes, but I love it. And I just think this movie's really charming. Everybody, even the people we're supposed to kind of dislike, they charm me. And so then also, Mr. Wallace pulls up with his 5 kids. He's just in this beat down truck with all these dusty looking kids in the back. Like they've all got potato sacks on. I don't know. I love this whole movie. And so when the teens come up, we see, little Billy with his dog, who the dog is named a slur. This is true. The dog is named a slur for the Romani people, which is unfortunate. And he's playing with the dog, and one of the I love all the nuances in this movie because we've got the city slicker teens. The women all seem to be a lot more immediately. Well, it's really just one guy in a leather jacket who's kind of like a tough guy who's kind of ignorant. But even the nice girlfriends, one of them's got a camera. And yes, she is being really nice, but she's almost photographing all these people like they're like habitats in a zoo. It's kind of disturbing, but I love it. Like, I think this is a real person that exists who's just like, I just want to see, all the people in this world, but really treating them like they're like an exhibit, like she sees these little kids and just wants to take their photo, though she is like, this is a camera, and, they're talking with Billy and his dog. And then Joel, leather jacket guy, is like, hey, look at the Coke bottles, the kids wearing Coke bottles for glasses, and they're all like, hey, be nice to him. So, I mean, there's a clear divide in experience. And then, one of the kids takes Billy's ball that he's been playing with his dog, and an older of the kids takes the ball back and is like, hey, if you're bad, you're gonna, Pumpkinhead's gonna get you. And so these 4 kids circle one of their brothers and just starts reciting this Pumpkinhead poem to taunt him, to the point where the girl with the camera is like, he's scared, okay? Like, she feels the need to defend him. But it is really creepy. It's like, they're really just like, he's going to get you. And, the kid's like, that's a lie. It's, I like it. But there's like a true tension. It's kind of like, is this real? So Mr. Wallace is like, I need my feed. Ed's forgotten it, so he's going to go back and deliver it. So he tells Billy to stay inside the store. Big mistake. Okay, now it's not Ed's fault what happens to Billy, but I will say he just should have taken Billy with him.
Yeah, he should have.
He just should have done that. But like, as soon as he leaves, Billy's dog goes after one of the bikers, and Billy runs after him. You can already tell what's going to happen. The 2 of the guys are biking. We get a lot of cool shots of just them biking in the dirt. And I just love, this moment where Billy's walking up, and one of the girls is like, hey, little boy, wait. And she's so slow trying to get it. And then she trips and falls, and they're like, Maggie, and nobody goes after him. So, he's still going up to his dog. One of the bikes sees him and just decides to eat it, which I kind of like this. It kind of insinuates that Joel perhaps could have avoided him, but didn't. So yes, one of the bikers knocks Billy over and wounds him. And we don't really know how or why, but just go with it. Like, he's messed up. And I love this scene. I think this is a true, like, I don't know. I was just really thinking about this movie a lot because I love revenge movies. I love movies where revenge is not the way. But I do think this is a situation where it's understandable. Like, they did fail this boy because, the girls are obviously really upset, but they kind of all but one leave Billy there. Because Joel, the guy who hit him, is firstly like, I'm not going to jail. I'm already on probation, and leaves. Even though his GF is like, Joel, wait. But, he goes back, and then the rest of the girls and one guy are like, well, we'll go back to the cabin. There's a phone there, and we'll call for help. So they just fucking leave him. So now we just have one guy stuck with him who's just kind of like sitting there with him on the ground with a jacket over him. And Ed comes back. He looks inside. He doesn't see Billy. He looks out and he just sees the teen waving for him. But then he sees Billy on the ground and runs over and scoops him up. And, the teen tries to say like, hey man, it was an accident. And Ed, I just love the scene. He just turns and like gives him the most withering glare with scary music, like dun 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 dun, dun, which, valid that he's upset. And the way he's just holding him, this kid is such a good actor because he's like limp as he's kind of like holding him upright. Like he's not holding him like, bridal style. It's like he's like he is a baby, but he's still kind of like a little kid. I think it was a good move. And so he takes him back home, and Billy's last word before he passes away is daddy. Very sad. So we get back to our cabin. Joel's on probation. And you know what? He had been drinking before the accident. So he kind of goes fucking ape shit on everyone. When they get back, he's already cut the damn phone line. And, it's the 80s, so they don't got cell phones. And here's where I do think they all failed Billy. Because, yes, Joel does kind of go psycho crazy on them. But it's like, beat the fuck out of Joel. Like, there's a kid dying. Like, they all just kind of go, well, he's probably okay. And I think, but I like that. I'm not saying this is a bad character choice. I think it'd be nice if Billy was just okay. That would be better. We don't want to think we failed this little boy. So I think this is actually pretty realistic. But yeah, Joel does go psycho crazy on him. I mean, he's beating the girls up. He's locking two of them in a closet. And, one of the girls, the girl who went, little boy, she's like catatonic on the couch. It's not good. And it's just, I love it. It's really irrational and dumb, but I think it's good conflict. So Ed goes to the Wallace's house, and he's asking about an old woman who's got special powers. He's in his truck, and Billy's body is just on the like passenger seat, but he has a quilt over him. And I love this scene too, because when he goes to this neighbor's property, there's like way more kids here than were in the truck. It looks like a whole little commune. And I just love how dusty and sweaty everybody is.
All the kids are playing in the dirt.
Yeah, or like one girl's like looks like she's sewing together a doll or something. It's just the background and the sets are just, I mean, they're not sets, they're outside. It's great. Everything looks so old and lived in. And I just love the scene between him and Wallace because, Wallace knows we don't really know what he's asking, but Wallace knows what he's asking. And Ed just lifts up the quilt to show him Billy, his dead body. And Wallace is like, what happened? And he's like, those city teens, they killed him and they left him there. And, Wallace continues to say though, like, well, listen, I can't help you. Go home, bury your child. Like, he tries to be a nice guy. I think this is, it's a fucked up life now that Ed has to live, but this is the better move. But as Ed's driving away, his grandson, Bunt, who was one of the kids in the truck, tells Ed that there's an old woman named Haggis and that, he's like, what do you give me for it? Ed puts a dirty 10 in his hands and he's like, get in the back. You got to show me where it is. And Bunt's like, okay, well, I'll show you part of the way, but I'm freaked out by her, so I'm not going all the way with you. So he goes, Bud hops out and Ed goes over to Haggis's house. Haggis. This should have been called the Old Hag. I love folklore is basically just old hag lore.
Yeah.
I just love me an old hag. They're the best.
I agree.
It's kind of sad that old women, their place is truly in a lot of movies just like a trickster or an evil type person. But I'm glad. It's just something about an old hag that is just so great. Like, anytime there's an old hag in a movie or a game, I love it. If anybody's played Baldur's Gate, another great old hag in that game. I don't know. I feel a sort of kinship with an old hag. I don't know why. I feel like there's something about living alone in the woods in your little hermit hut that seems actually kind of chill.
Yeah, we should all be
and
so
being
lucky.
like the knowledge holder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
They always have cats. So he goes to see Haggis. She's got this beautiful old house covered in Spanish moss. She's got all these damn animals. She's got tarantulas, an owl, a mouse. She's just sitting in front of the fire. And I love, like, she's got like her face framed in the fire is so beautiful. Like, we even see she's got like hairs on her face. I don't know. I love it. And she's got a really cool nose, and she's all wrinkly and old. There's a really cool shot because her hair is so thin and wispy. We just see her bald head through the hair. It's great. It looks like there's a corona around her head. And, he puts all his coins in her cup around these tarantulas, and he tells her that's all I have. And she lets him know, hey, I can't raise the dead. But he says that he heard that there was a creature you could call. And she kind of presses him, which I like. Like, she's kind of like, hey, buddy, I need you to say it. What exactly do you want? And he's like, God damn it. And he punches a wall. And, he wants to get back at these kids who hurt his kid. He wants to avenge his kid because he's been wronged. And that he remembers as a kid there being a creature. So she says, well, in Razorback Hollow, there is a graveyard where people used to bury kin that they were ashamed of. So she sends him to dig up a body and bring it back, and that he will know where to dig and that he should leave his son's body with her. Now, that's just how you got to get out of there. Just go bury your son, dude. And then when he leaves, vulture jump scare. So he goes to this creepy hollow. It's all foggy and cool looking. And he, I love this scene. Like, this is a guy who shouldn't be doing this. Like, he's digging up this body, and yeah, he's pissed, but he knows it's wrong. Like, he's just like creeped out and grossed out, but he brings the body back anyway. She cuts Ed and Billy and pours their blood onto the thing. It comes to life, and Ed groans and passes out. When he comes to, she says to him, "You can go now, Ed Harley. Now it begins." And so he's driving home. He has a hallucination that Billy has risen, that he sits up and asks, "What'd you do, Daddy?" But he's actually still dead. So he knows he fucked up again. He's digging Billy's grave. It's at what we can assume is the grave of his wife and Billy's mom. And it's very sad. Steve has gone after Maggie. So she's the one who said, "Little boy." And yeah, she's kind of catatonic and feeling crazy. She feels the most guilty out of everybody here. Like, I think she's actually the most contrite. Like, she's truly sick to her stomach.
Yes.
He shows her cross. I just love her face is great. All these people look like real people, which I really like. He like pulls out her cross and he's like, "Look at it, like, find strength in it." And she does snap out and hugs him. But then Steve is yanked up into a tree and thrown out and then dragged away. Oh no, it begins. "Steve!" She cries after him. But he's fucked up. And back at the gravesite, Ed feels, we can tell that when Pumpkinhead is moving around, Ed is feeling it within him too. Like, he's, we got the kind of like that camera effect where you see like all, the movement really slow or something. It's good.
No, I wanted to mention the lighting and some of the camera angles. Like at the gravesite, it's all orange, and they seem to sort of flip between orange and blue a lot. And when he's at Razorback Hollow, he's got to go up on top of this like ridge in order to get to the grave site that he needs to dig up the body at. and the camera pulls away really far away from him. And he's just like standing there with his shovel and stuff before he actually digs up the body. But so there's just a lot of really cool camera work. And I just thought the lighting overall was really spectacular.
I agree. Yeah, I remember that too when it kind of switches to orange when he's kind of, connected to Pumpkinhead, and his movie's just so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really beautiful, and I love it. I really love it when they play with color like that. So two of the guys, oh, this is so funny to me. Kind of little bit too little too late. Joel finally is like, you know what? I'm going to turn my life around. He says this to his girlfriend and she's like hugging him. And I love this because, this should be enough. Like, because one of the guy who was with, I forgot to mention earlier, the guy who was with Billy after everybody left, when he comes back, everybody's like, what happened? And he's like, I think he'll be fine. His dad came and he picked him up, and Joel's like, did you tell him? He's like, yeah, I told him it was an accident. And he's like, yeah, well, what did he do? And he just kind of gets quiet, and he's like, he looked at me like he wanted to kill me. I loved that. I thought that was really good. And everybody's just kind of like, well, yeah, I mean, we kind of do deserve that. Like, no, I don't think they deserve to die, but I'm glad that nobody's like, well, and how dare he feel that way? Like, they're all just like, yeah, we fucked up. And I don't know. I like this because I don't believe revenge is, revenge does not pay. It's not, it doesn't bring Billy back. It doesn't do anything for Billy, but it's such a human thing. I think we can, especially the death of a child, I think we can really see. And then Ed, especially, he's got nobody else. Like his whole world was Billy, and these people just blew into his life and took that away from him. And in his mind, he thinks disrespected him too by leaving him, that it's the wrong thing to do to summon Pumpkinhead. But I think it's a thing we can understand. And we can also understand the teens did not mean to do it, but they were wrong. Like they should have done more for him. So I just love conflicts like this where there's kind of no good or bad guy, except for Billy. I mean, poor Billy. So yeah, two of the guys go to confront whatever it is, because Maggie comes back and she's like, Steve. So they go out to confront whatever it is that has gotten Steve. But when they leave, the creature goes back to the cabin, and we get this cool shot because all the ladies are in the cabin kind of talking to Maggie, because they're like, well, Maggie, like, I'm sure you didn't see the devil. She's like, I did see the devil. The only thing that can protect us is God. And they're all, I kind of like that there's a super Christian girl and none of the other ones are Christian. It's because they're kind of all like, they're trying to be nice to her, but they are kind of like, Maggie, that sounds a little bit crazy. But they pass by the window, and as the camera is like moving from the living room to the kitchen, we see the creature pass through the window. So when they go outside, they see Steve's dead body dangled from the roof. And Maggie goes out, and the creature takes Maggie. It's got this like hand with these long fingers, and it kind of just hooks the fingers around her neck and like pulls her up like that. It carves a cross into her forehead with its fingernail. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
That's scary. How did I not?
Well, it totally. Yeah. You remember when we watched that movie about the witch that was like unfairly killed? Was it like Black Sabbath or something? And
I don't remember.
You did not like this movie. It's an old movie from the 60s, I think. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah. But the power of the cross was like really powerful. And so everyone always wanted to make sure they had one handy because it was going to like fend off the evil spirits and stuff. But I think here Pumpkinhead is like, that's not going to work with me, kids. So she's got a cross around his neck. He couldn't care less.
I love that. Yeah, I know it comes up later, but I didn't realize it came. I guess I wasn't paying attention during that part, and I think it's so scary. And then especially, I guess you would think in a rural area, you just assume, oh, all these people are super Christian. I guess, at least in America, I guess I would assume that. But pagan stuff, the idea of it lying outside of
Mm-hmm.
the bounds of Christianity that we kind of expect things to lie within. I think that's always very creepy when it's like, oh, God can't help you now. So Ed can feel what Pumpkinhead does to Maggie. He goes back to the witch and says he wants to call it off. And she's like, you can't call it off. She says the creature's got to run its course. She can't help Ed. She tells him that if he interferes with the creature, he will die and then pay the final price with his soul. And that's kind of like, I don't know, not a deterrent at all for him. He's just immediately like, okay, so I die, and leaves with a gun. So poor Ed. Joel screams out, I'm the one you want. But the creature goes after his girlfriend, Kim, which I do love. I feel like the point of this creature is to inflict pain. So it does make sense that it would death would be too easy for you. I'm going to, hurt the ones you love. I mean, I do hate when women are used in this aspect in a horror movie, but I think in this way it makes sense, because it is wrong what the monster's doing. These women really had nothing to do with it. But I feel like that's the nature of blind revenge like this. So the creature hauls Kim up into a tree, drops her down onto a rock, and kills her. It's brutal. So Ed goes to the cabin and he sees Steve's body, that the kids have brought inside and covered with a blanket. He's like, fuck. So the kids go to seek help. We get a mirror of the beginning scene in the movie where they're knocking on people's doors, but nobody wants to open it up for them because they all know Pumpkinhead's got to run its course. But Ed's on his way. He shoots the creature, bringing it down. One of the boys, Joel, he double taps the creature, and they even say, like, Joel, you don't know it's dead. He shoots it in the head, and he goes, now it's dead. But it wasn't. It kills Joel immediately. And I love this. It grabs his gun and doesn't shoot him in the stomach. It just impales him in the stomach with the gun. It's so great. So the two remaining teens are at the Wallace house, but again, they are not let inside. Bunt, the boy who brought Ed to Haggis, is worried about the animals, but Mr. Wallace assures him that the animals will be fine. Pumpkinhead only kills what it was called on to kill and whatever gets in his way. And so Bunt goes back to his bedroom and tells his sister that he's going to help the city folk. He has to know if the creature is real. And so he crawls out. I love the way this bedroom looks. It's like they got candles on the dresser, and again, everything's so dusty. And his sister is sweet. She's like, just be careful, like she doesn't want him to get hurt. So silly little Bunt, he brings them to a burnt out church. He says that a while ago they were trying to build up a congregation, but I guess it just didn't work out. And he's like, but, surely this thing is of the devil, so it won't want to come in here. They just kind of take his word for it. And, he kind of tells him what he knows. And I like this scene too. He's like, well, I took Ed. He basically is like, I took Ed to go see this witch. I know she can bring forth this thing. From what I hear, these city folk came in and hurt, his boy. And they're kind of like, oh, fuck. Like, they're like, he died? And he's like, I think so. And they're like, fuck. So I like that. I like that at this point, they still were trying to hold on to the hope that Billy didn't die. But yeah, this church ain't doing shit. Pumpkinhead walks right in. He even grabs onto a cross and just tears it up.
Yeah.
He's like, this can't contain me. They run away. Harley goes to the Wallace house and says they have to stop the creature. Bunt leads the city kids to where the cars are parked, but the cars and the cars and the bikes are all busted up, except for one bike that Chris gets on. But Pumpkinhead shows up and throws Chris and his bike into the air. Then they run into Harley, guy with a gun and a dog. He tells the kids to... Oh, no, sorry.
That's Ed.
He runs into Ed. Yeah, my bad. They run into Ed. He just kind of quietly tells the kids to get into his car. Pumpkinhead squishes Chris under its foot and drags him away. Tracy goes to talk to Harley and tells him that it was just an accident. Can't he just call it off? He says he can't call it off. Nothing can call it off, but he's going to send it back to whatever hell it come from. And he grabs a flamethrower. And I love this too. Like Bunt and Tracy are in Ed's house and they see a bunch of photos of him and Billy and they continue to feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sad.
It's just sad. Billy's hanging over the narrative. I think, I don't know. I love all this movie. I think all the details are really good. We get a dog jump scare and it begins growling. So we know Pumpkinhead's here. It brings Chris's battered body and breaks into where Bunt is hiding and grabs him. So now we see Harley's eyes have turned.
That was kind of a funny bit because Bunt was hiding in a closet and the dog is hiding in this like toy box. But anyway, the monster like comes into the closet and then like acts like it's like, you know, been psyched out, and then it comes right back and like grabs Bunt.
It's got a little sense of humor. Ed's eyes go all demony and he accidentally partially impales himself on a pitchfork. So, and we've already gotten some cues for this, but we can see whenever Ed in particular is hurt, that hurts Pumpkinhead, but hurting Pumpkinhead does not hurt Ed. So kind of like Pumpkinhead, his existence is obviously tied to Ed, which is really kind of like Obsession-esque in a way, you know, like I like the idea of the one who invokes it. Hey, it's all on you, buddy. You want to call it off? Then die.
Right.
So Tracy grabs the flamethrower thing, fires it at Pumpkinhead. It doesn't work. And Pumpkinhead grabs her. And then we do see Pumpkinhead's like full face, which I do like. I don't know. He just looks like an evil guy. Ed shoots Pumpkinhead. Him and Pumpkinhead fall down simultaneously. Ed shoots himself in the head. Like he goes to his car and grabs this little gun. And I like this because we don't see him do it, but we see Pumpkinhead fall back. So obviously he's reacting to Ed shooting himself. But Pumpkinhead comes back up because Ed's still alive. Tracy gets that Ed and the creature are connected. Ed says, "Kill me." So she shoots Ed a bunch of times, and then Pumpkin's body bursts into flames. So the movie ends with us seeing Haggis burying Ed in the pumpkin patch, but he's like in the Pumpkinhead body. Like he is Pumpkinhead-esque, but we know it's him because he's wearing the necklace he got from Billy, and the last shot is dirt falling upon his necklace. Sad.
Yeah. And then
yeah,
credits roll. That's it.
Yeah. I like that.
I like it too.
We don't need everything tied up.
No.
So this was the directorial debut of Stan Winston. The dog actor Mushroom did his own stunts for this film. Aww. And he did stunts for Gremlins. What a good dog. The rhyme Bunt and his siblings used to scare their little brother outside of the general store is the original Ed Justin poem Pumpkinhead, which inspired the movie's plot. Interesting. Lance Henriksen had a set of dentures made to give him a more rural look. Okay, I was wondering, because he does have some kind of buck-esque teeth, but I liked it. I thought it looked good on him. He gathered all of his own props and wardrobe, including a World War II pump-action shotgun, his cap worn throughout the film, and the silver dollars he gives to Haggis. Wow.
Yeah, really committed.
What a guy.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Well, briefly, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Maria gave it a half star. Everyone's so sweaty and sad. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Maria.
true. B Haney 35 gave it a half star. I would have watched an hour and a half of the father and son just living their life and having a good time. Well, okay, yeah, but you know, we wouldn't have a movie. That's the prequel. Alex Smith gave it 1 star. Did I hate it? Yeah. But does it have 0 redeeming qualities? Yeah. I don't agree.
I don't agree either.
Well, Tony gave it 5 stars. This was shockingly great. It's a very straightforward morality tale about the dangers of revenge. It's got a real tragic feel and an incredible southern atmosphere. I love how mean and nasty Pumpkinhead is. Agreed. Bellis Dode gave it 5 stars. I remember seeing this movie when I was a child, and I didn't see it again until today when I saw it recommended by a movie group. Excellent story, incredible special effects for the time, good deaths without excessive gore, and free of unnecessary erotic scenes. 5 out of 5, well deserved. You know, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
It's R-rated and we never see any boobies. That the restraint that they showed is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and they had all those teens on hand, but
Yeah.
nobody took off their clothes.
That, you know, I didn't even think about that, but props. Meaty Head Jelly gave it 5 stars. Nostalgia trip. Loved watching this with my dad growing up. Aww. Well, how would we rate it? How about motorbikes?
Sure.
I'll give it 4.
Yeah, I think 4 is good.
Yeah.
Nice round 4.
What have we learned? Yeah, nice rounded 4 motorbikes.
Well, don't call on demons.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing.
Watch where you're going.
Yeah. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah. And, you know, if you mortally wound a child, maybe do everything in your power to make sure you get that child the help it needs.
Yeah.
That's the least you could do, right? What?
Yeah. What was that?
I guess I made a sound.
There's a bunch of clinking sounds.
Oh. It's my water bottle, I think.
Oh, okay.
Would we watch it again? Yes.
Yeah.
Favorite scene and/or kill? The father-son.
Yeah. That was just so sweet. That's probably what I'm going to remember from this film is the opening scenes with the father and the son.
This is very cute. Well, who wins the You Fool Award? I guess Ed.
Yeah, Ed. But also Joel.
Yeah.
For being reckless.
Yeah.
Well, that was Pumpkinhead.
Yay. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
All right, our next folk horror film is called November. Here's a short plot summary from IMDb. In a poor Estonian village, a group of peasants use magic and folk remedies to survive the winter, and a young woman tries to get a young man to love her. I don't know if I would have put it like that, but I guess it's part of the plot. All right. And apologies to any Estonian listeners or any listeners from any Nordic countries for the pronunciation of these names. It's written and directed by Rainer Sarnet, based on Rihepap Ek November by Andrus Kivirak, starring Rhea Lest, Jorgen Leek, Arvo Kukumagi, Katarina Unt, and Tavi Ilma. cinematography by Mart Taniel, edited by Yaroslav Kaminsky, and music by Yakasek. The release dates were the 3rd of February 2017 in Estonia and the 2nd of November 2018 in Poland. It has a running time of 115 minutes. How did you feel about this runtime, Mac?
You know, it went a little long, I'll say, but darned if it wasn't beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So I have to confess, WoHos, I took this plot from the internet, and it's not linear. So, or it's not completely linear. So we'll just have to jump in here where we feel when the spirit moves us to do that. But it was good for me to read the plot anyway, because it helped me to understand the film. And I feel like some of this is like too dense to understand unless you have some background in Nordic folk tales.
Agreed.
Which I don't have. So there's a lot of the stuff that after reading the plot, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't realize that was what was happening. But it is a very magical film in a lot of ways. It's very dreamy, and the photography is simply amazing. But it is a little hard to understand.
The vibes are great. I think just like Pumpkinhead, they did the rural village vibe so well, and everybody looks so grungy and dusty, and I don't know that. And I like all the older actors that they used. They were all very. I just like, there were some people that seemed like they pulled them off the street and got them to recite some lines, but I loved that.
Yeah. There was that one woman who just had the really big eyes that I don't know if she was an actor or not, but she had a really like distinctive face. She wasn't one of the main people. All right. In 19th century Estonia, a mythical village is inhabited by personified Black Death, spirits, werewolves, and the devil himself. The film opens with a supernaturally powered automaton called a krat stealing a cow. It drags the cow by its chains and lifts it up in the air, depositing it at the farm of its master, the villager called Rock. Yeah, this was a pretty amazing sequence itself. I'm not sure how they were able to transport this cow, but it really did look like it was flying through the air.
It made me almost a little bit uncomfortable. Like when they wrapped all the chains around the cow, I felt bad for the real cow, because I mean, I just want to hope everything was good and above board, but the cow did seem upset.
Yes, it certainly did. And so this krat thing, it's sort of made out of old pieces of metal and tools and things like that. And it's just this like kind of three-legged construction. I don't know how else to put it, but it doesn't have, I don't think it has a voice, does it? Well, actually, sometimes it does have a voice.
Yeah. This was maybe to me the best part of the whole movie, this thing, because it just feels so anachronistic in the best way. Like, is that how you say it?
Anachronistic.
It feels so anachronistic in the best way of, you've got this old ass village and this thing which feels like, you know, an automaton, but made out of, you know, natural things. And it's so neat.
Really cool. I never heard of these things before, so I thought this was really cool. Fashioned out of odds, ends, and farm tools, krats need to be imbued with a soul in order to do their master's bidding, primarily stealing livestock from other villagers, aside from menial farm labor. And they're always asking to be given work. Give me something to do. Give me work. I thought that was pretty cool.
God, could never be me. Like, please don't put my soul into an automaton that asks to work. I'll be lying. I don't want to work.
Yeah, and I didn't know how it would work to have a soul put into a krat, but we see that later with Hans and his snowman krat. Anyway, villagers whistle for the devil at a crossroads in order to arrange a deal. It's a pretty cool image of like literally like these crossroads, and the way that one of the villagers fools the devil. You have to write in blood in the devil's book, but he takes these currants from his neighbor and he smushes them and uses the currant juice to sign his name. So I thought that was pretty good.
And when the devil, like, he like licks, like they filmed it like he's licking this, like he must have been licking like a blank, plastic thing, because they just kind of show the camera from the POV of the book of like him supposed to be licking the blood, but he licks the currants and then he like pukes all over it or something.
Yeah, all over. Yeah, it looks like the camera. It's pretty great. Mm-hmm. And the devil he looks like a Dr. Seuss character. Like he's got this crazy like mustache and like eyebrows and stuff, and he's just really super obnoxious, and he just like squinches up his face, and he's more of a pain in the ass than like something really scary. The villagers are driven by a need to survive the harsh winter and resort to all manner of thievery and deceit to accomplish their ends. They steal from one another and trade their souls for the krat in order to keep their souls from being stolen too. They even fool the plague, first disguised as a blanched young woman crossing the river, then later as a white goat, by wearing pants over their heads to make it think they have two asses and thus leave them alone. I loved that part.
And they like all lie in like a barn, like side by side. I just kind of love how the head of the village just kind of says, we got to do this. And they're all like, okay.
And this like white goat kind of like comes in and like walks down the row of people and then just, is fooled and walks right back out of the barn. It's really, really great. But I didn't understand that the devil was that woman. I didn't get that. Did you get that?
I did, but I did read the Wikipedia kind of midway through the movie. So when it got there, I was like, this is the plague.
Oh, okay. But the plague cannot be fooled twice. And when it finally assumes a pig form, the village elder Sander makes a pact with the plague. If it has to kill, then it must leave a young boy and a young girl alive so that their people can go on. So he just takes Lena, the young girl, and Hans, the young boy, and like makes them hold hands. But Hans pulls his hand away, which is really rough on Lena because she's in love with him. Hans refuses the bargain, and it is implied he kills the pig with a scythe while it's distracted, swearing on a Bible brought by Sander. Relieved, the villagers dance on ecstatic, I guess in an ecstatic mood, mood for having survived yet again. That's very beautiful too. When they're all dancing, they're just all so happy. So Lena is Rock's daughter, a headstrong young woman whom her penurious father has arranged in a drunken pub session to be married to an older piggish farmer named Endel. But she longs for the local village boy Hans. He, in turn, is besotted with the young Baroness, the visiting daughter of the local Baltic German baron, whom the local Estonians secretly resent and get their revenge on by stealing food and valuable objects from the estate. And that's one of the first scenes in the film, and I was like, what's going on? So there's there's this figure in a bed that's like, I think, dying. And then one of the servants is going through this chest and just taking out, I guess, valuable dresses and slips and things like that. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening right now.
You want to know a fun fact? I realized this watching it. The guy who plays the German Baron is the guy from Human Centipede.
No.
Yeah, he's the doctor.
Oh my God.
Right? Like, I was like, God, this guy looks so familiar. Where would I know a German actor? And then when I looked it up, I was like, it's him.
Oh my God. Oh no. I've never seen Human Centipede.
You don't have to.
But I don't know if that should go on the list.
There's some things you don't have to see.
Okay. Good. There was the other one, last house on the left. Somebody told me I didn't have to watch that. So I was like, okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. The Baroness is afflicted with somnambulism and must often be guarded so she does not sleepwalk off the manor roof, which she almost does several times. Hans and Lena try to use their mystical powers so that their unrequited love could change into requited love. Lena can transform into a werewolf and watches Hans as he stares at the Baroness's window at night. Seeing how smitten Hans is with the Baroness, Lena consults the local witch Mina, who gives her an arrow and tells her to fling it at the Baroness when she looks out her window, saying that the arrow will split the Baroness's skull and spill her brains out. Lena stands watch at the manor one night and sees the Baroness atop the manor sleepwalking. She cannot bring herself to kill the Baroness, however. Lena materializes atop the manor and pulls the Baroness back from the edge.
She's a nice lady.
Yeah, she's got a good heart.
Yeah.
Hans, meanwhile, fashions a krat out of a snowman and tries to trick the devil with the 3 black currants. But the devil has wised up to the ruse and forces Hans into trading his own soul in order that his krat may be imbued with one. Hans tries to use the krat to bring him the Baroness. However, the krat sadly replies that it cannot steal humans, only livestock and inanimate things. Hans then consults his krat about love and romance. The krat, made out of snow, made from water that has seen many things, enchants Hans with tales of romances it has witnessed through millennia.
I loved that scene. That was so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I loved the old man who like watches with him, because he says this like, kind of like folk-tale-y story of this, man and a woman in a boat, and the man has to leave, so he gives the woman, his ring, and she takes the ring off and puts it in the water because she was like, why would I need your ring if I don't have you? And this old guy listening with Hans is just like, okay, so do you think I could still go get that ring? Meanwhile, Hans is like, this is beautiful.
The witch Mina asks why Lena did not kill the Baroness. She replies that Hans loves the Baroness and that he might die of sadness if she died. The witch is revealed to be an old spurned love of Sander, who in spite cast a spell that killed his wife. But in a rare spirit of forgiveness, Mina confides to Sander her concern over Lena's unrequited feelings. In a last effort to enchant Hans, the witch asks Sander to ask Lena if she can procure a dress the Baroness might wear. Louisa, the Baron's housekeeper, who has been pilfering the old Baroness's garments and other belongings, trades in the old Baroness's last gown for a silver brooch that Lena's forebears had been safeguarding as part of the Rock family treasure. And I missed most of that.
Yeah, I know at the beginning she gives her like a ring, and Louisa just rips off a strip of the dress because she's like, hey, I know you've got that brooch. Like, I'll take that for the dress. So, but yeah, this movie, you kind of don't know what's important and like what you're supposed to be gleaning from a scene.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it, I kind of was just like, yep, okay.
Yes, me too. That night, Hans and Lena encounter each other in a dreamlike state in the forest. Lena wears the old Baroness's gown with a veil over her head. Hans does not seem to recognize Lena. He introduces himself and falls to his knees, thinking she is the young Baroness. Sander watches the two from a distance, saying to himself, "Two fools," before walking away. The pair kneel in silence through the rainy night, and when morning comes, Hans finally kisses Lena through her veil. Ecstatic, Lena walks away, and Hans asks his melting Krat one final question. The Krat replies, "That girl loves you," before dissolving into a muddy puddle. Hans then finds an expensive ring in the slush, one that had figured in a romantic tale in Venice that the Krat had relayed to Hans via the snowman's liquid memories.
That line of like, "that girl loves you," I thought was so sad.
Yes.
Like that, yeah, he like can't, I don't know. I thought that was very beautiful, and the, Krat melting, and I loved this whole sequence.
Yeah, all the stuff with the snowman was really, really cool. And I love the whole idea of, I've been made of rain and water, and I've seen many things, and I don't know, just really a cool element of water I never really thought about before.
Yeah.
Hans chases after Lena, still thinking she is the Baroness, to propose. Meanwhile, the actual Baroness is shown to have finally sleepwalked off the manor roof the previous night and died. Lena hears Hans's wagon approaching, and after removing her concealing veil a little earlier on the road, resigns herself to reveal the truth. However, the devil appears on Hans's cart and asks where his Krat is. When Hans replies that it had melted, the devil says, "Then it's time to pay," then snaps Hans's neck. Lena chases after the wagon bearing Hans's dead body as it encounters the funeral procession for the dead young Baroness.
This like posed a lot of questions to me about like the nature of the Krat. It's like, it seems like the Krat from the beginning bursts into flames, and it's like, is that because it didn't have a true soul in it, or what soul is in it if they trick the devil? And like, then Sander, I think it's him, he's got a Krat that he kind of treats like shit, and it's kind of like, is there any judgment about that? So this movie is just a bit confusing.
Yeah, it would have been really helpful to know the lore about Krats before watching this movie, for one thing.
Yeah.
Hans' father, Sander, berates his own Krat while they prepare Hans's body for burial, saying the Krats are burdens on humanity who will not hesitate to cut human throats. The Krat retorts by asking who told humans to make deals with the devil, and chides the father why humans fool the plague and the devil but do not want to pay with their souls as promised. Sander then replies, "But I have no soul."
Dun, dun, dun.
After Hans's burial, Lena walks into a nearby river and drowns herself. Underneath the waters, her body slips from the Baroness's gown as she encounters Hans and kisses him one last time. Later, two villagers are then shown discovering solid gold pieces in the river. They declare it to be buried rock treasure before one of them lifts up Lena's body. They take the gold pieces but leave a gold necklace for Lena's corpse, saying it will make a nice dowry for a virgin bride. Lena's corpse then replies, "Oh yes, just what a virgin bride dreams of." Oh my God. It's so tragic.
Yeah.
It's so sad. I just have one piece of trivia. Despite Estonia being ruled by Germanic nobles, Estonia was part of the Russian Empire at the time, as Germanic nobles still controlled much of Estonia under Russian control. This puts the date somewhere between 1720 and 1900. Neither Russia nor Germany clamped down on pagan beliefs until well into the late 19th century, making Estonia one of the last pagan states in Europe. Due to the Soviets' policy of forced atheism in the early 1900s, Estonia remained secular for many years, leaving it as one of the least religious countries in the world as of the 21st century.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I had no idea.
It's in this really interesting, its geography is really interesting because it's got Latvia to the south and Finland to the north. And I think these names, a lot of these names look Finnish to me, like from what I understand of the Finnish language. But yeah, very interesting. We've never covered a movie from Estonia before.
Yeah.
Briefly, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Well, Krokatonen gave it 5 stars. This movie hooks you with the strangest visuals from minute one and keeps you engaged with the photography throughout. Such a wonderful piece of folk horror.
Yeah.
Drockfish gave it 5 stars, a folkloric magical realist poem about desperation and what allows us to stay human. It was rewatched by Nate Justice 123, who gave it 5 stars. This movie looks how snow smells.
Aw, I like that.
That's nice. But Yuli gave it a 0.5 star. Mind you, I love art and art house movies, symbolism, shock value, and everything that challenges the ordinary. I'm here for the folklore. I loved learning about Estonian mythology, the Krat, the winter scenery, the coloring of the movie, and so on. But I guess I like my movies with a solid, understandable plot. Skeleton emoji. This is not the case for me. I like the snowman Krat, though. He was poetic as fuck for his nature.
I think I would honestly agree with all this. I wouldn't give it a 0.5 star, but and I also don't know if I love art house movies necessarily, but I do think this movie is beautiful, and I'm not necessarily saying it's not good, but I think it was kind of confusing to me. I'd be interested in if somebody from Estonia would think that it depicts their mythology well. Like, I'm just interested if like it's akin to doing a kind of, moody, ambient, arty thing of like, Snow White or like The Little Mermaid. Like, would it be understandable of being like, oh, I get what the beats are trying to be if you already have an understanding, or is it confusing no matter what?
Yeah, good question. I would like to know the answer to that too. Estonian WoHos, get in touch.
Yeah, let us know.
Leanna gave it a 0.5 star. It's like someone thought, let's make a gothic fantasy film that's confusing and uncomfortable, and then went for it. Kind of mean.
I don't even know if it's that uncomfortable at times. Like, I did find it confusing, but I don't know. It, like, I guess when I think uncomfortable, I'm thinking of like The Stepsister or something.
Yeah.
Like, now that movie made me uncomfortable, but this one I kind of was just like, okay, I'm here for the ride.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I don't think I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who wrote this review, but they gave it a 0.5 star. Second time attempting this, and I just can't. Sorry. I don't get it. If it's horror, why is it so goofy and comedic in tone?
Now, I loved the goofy comedic parts. I felt like those were where it was strongest to me.
I don't know if it's horror. I think it's a tragedy, and it's got
Yeah.
folklore in it. But I don't know if it's horror.
It's not really spooky at any moment.
No. But it's moody.
Yes.
Like when she's talking to her dead mother and stuff. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
And she's feeding the ghost bread. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know. I love it. It's just weird. Yeah. All right. So how would we rate it? How about in white goats?
I think I'd give it 3.5 white goats.
Okay. I think I'd give it more.
How about you?
I think I'd give it 4. Yeah, I think
that's fair.
Give it 4.
I think it is deserving of 4, but I didn't like it enough for 4 whole goats.
Yeah. So what I really like to do, I might have mentioned this before, is I'd really like to go back to our Letterboxd for World of Horror and put in all of our metrics and what we actually gave to all of the movies that we've reviewed. But now we're up to like, I don't know, we're in the 180s, I think. So I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
That would take a while.
Yeah. So I might just go back. Maybe if I can do the previous 100, that would make me feel better.
Yeah, give us some continuity.
What have we learned?
I don't know. Don't try to fool the devil?
Yeah, definitely don't do that. And yeah, I guess the devil and the plague, like, they're going to get you. Like, you might be able to buy some time, but eventually you're going to lose. And so I just, I understand the temptation to want to fool the devil and the plague, but gosh, you're just.
Yeah. You're only biding time.
Yeah. I think also unrequited love is just a waste of time and energy.
Yeah, you got to move on.
Yeah, honestly. Like these 2 young people, they are fools. Like, I think that's just ridiculous to put all of your heart and soul into somebody who could not be asked, So it's just like.
It must be rough, though, if there's only like one, only one guy you find handsome in your whole village, like, and he doesn't like you back. Oh my God, that would be fucked.
Yeah, I totally agree. Would we watch it again? Yeah, I would watch it again. But not for a while. Like, I thought about watching it again so I could like make notes for it, and I was like, oh no, I don't think I can do it. So, but it is really beautiful. I'd like to sort of revisit that now that I sort of know what's going on. Did you have a favorite scene or kill?
There's a scene we didn't mention where there's this lady who's she works at the church and she's kind of dumb. And she's one of the actors that seems like they were pulled off the street. And she like gets the witch to make the priest stupid But she's like, don't make him too stupid because then they'll just replace him with another. And then later he's like eating dirt at Hans's funeral, and she's just like laughing her ass off because she's the one that made him stupid. That was the best part of the movie for me. I loved her.
There was like a lot of like throwaway things that I didn't quite get. Like somebody's talking about Latvians and like insulting them and saying that they've got like assholes for mouths and nothing but shit comes out of them. Oh my God. You really hate Latvians.
Or when like Hans and the guy who works for like the Baron kind of convince themselves it's chill to go through the Baroness's underwear because they're like, well, they're here on our land. So
that was really good. That was really nice. I guess I like it when Hans's Krat, dies. I think that was really beautiful. All right. Who wins the You Fool Award? Well, Hans and Lena, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them. Well, thank you, Mac, for having this conversation with me about Pumpkinhead and November. And thank you, WoHos, for joining us and for all your support. It means the world of horror to us, truly. We appreciate you downloading the show and telling all your friends about us. And I have to say, our downloads are getting pretty good, y'all. And some people are actually taking my suggestion to download the whole catalog, which is pretty cool when I see that. Somebody has like fallen hard for us. They've got to listen to every single app.
Let's go.
Next time, what will we be looking at, Mac? Well, we've got psychological, horror thrillers, and movies Mom has never seen before.
I want to do movies Mom has never seen.
Okay, so that means we will be watching the original It with Tim Curry.
Woo! I'm so excited.
So am I.
Love this book, so I'm ready.
All right. Maybe I can get the book read in 2 weeks. Maybe not.
Start today.
Okay. Remember, WoHos, we love you, and don't go into the basement.